Hello YouTube, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about this situation that went viral involving a black woman who is a therapist and her addressing and encouraging black men who need it to get therapy and develop emotional intelligence. As well as talk about people's reaction to her request. So, this black woman, perhaps you can call her a ghetto therapist, a ratchet therapist, or, just a therapist who knows the clientele she wants to work with. Because I do think that she was ultimately speaking the language that she probably needed to speak in order to get to the specific demographic of black people who she's trying to reach. But folks ain't appreciate that. Folks ain't like that. And because of that, she essentially got torn to pieces over the internet, harassed on social media, body shamed, doxxed, and all that led to her being terminated from her job. And it goes to show you that, when black men are addressed by black women, especially in a negative way or a way that is perceived to be negative, there will be consequences. There will be a price to pay. And, black men and black male worshipers will come for you. And they have come together to come for this lady. And I'll say that her ultimate mistake was caring and trying to save people who do not want to be saved. And also being so open and candid about it on a public platform. And I'll say the black male collective and the black female collective, both of those collectives do not want to be saved. Not collectively. I know there are individuals who got different situations and, who want to do better and who will try to do better and who will do better. If it don't apply, let it fly. But, these collectives may make some noise about some things, but that's all it is. Noise. It's just noise. The community really just wants to stay stuck. Just stay stuck in the situation because it's a familiar and comfortable place. And people oftentimes go with the familiar versus the unknown, right? Better the devil you know. That's a saying for a reason. And I hate to say that. I hate to put that out there like that, but that's just how I really feel about all this. And also, I really feel like black men and black women want to engage in degeneracy and not be held accountable for it. And then complain about this, suffering the consequences and the repercussions of engaging in the degeneracy. And the black woman therapist, she was speaking their language, but they still was not receptive to it, right? They didn't like that, right? Because she was speaking their language, but she was speaking to them, particularly to black men, and, saying that they need to develop emotional intelligence and need to get therapy. And a lot of black men and some black women, they didn't like the language that she used because they felt that the language was too harsh and, she's a therapist, so, she shouldn't be using language like that, especially the black men. Black men have been through so much already. Black men have been struggling since they got here in this country. It's always a black woman trying to bring down a black man, trying to bring down the kings and stuff. Well, y'all ain't gonna get me. Y'all ain't gonna get me to turn on my black king like that. Nah, I'm too woke for that. We gonna get you, black woman therapist. You come from my king, you come from me. You mess with my king, you mess with me. Not without my black king. So, they didn't like the language that she used, But the thing is, though, don't we have a whole musical genre called rap that consistently calls women, especially black women, bees, shows, whores, slacks, sluts, skanks, scallywags, chicken heads, pigeons, skeezers? Need I go on? And, the excuse with all that name calling is, well, if it don't apply, let it fly. If you're not a bee or a show, quote unquote, then you shouldn't be offended because it ain't about you. That's just how these dudes talk about women in general. And I know some people gonna be all like, false equivalency, a false equivalency. See, she a therapist, she gotta be professional. Rappers don't gotta be professionals out here. And while I will admit that, yeah, there is it's not a 100% equivalency. However, rappers do have the ear of the youth, especially black male youth. And if you're putting this type of poison and rhetoric into the black male youth, that's a problem. Therefore, we do actually have to hold these rappers to at least some type of a standard. If you're promoting thug life and drug use and violence and stealing, promiscuity, behaving like a slave buck, need I go on, then that's a problem. But because black men are doing it, well, we got like 1,001 excuses, Well, see, y'all been listening to the white media and they done brainwash you to think that the black man is not the man, that he a bad man, he ain't a good man. And we got a right to be artists and express ourselves how we want to. But she don't got a right to express herself how she want to. All right. Because she a professional, she can't do that. We got to tone police the professionals. All right. But I thought it was like, if it don't apply, let it fly. So in this case, shouldn't these black men just be letting this fly since it doesn't apply to them? Because black men are perfect and never make mistakes. Everything that happened to them is the fault of someone else, not themselves, etc. And, also, like, when did black men get so tender, sensitive, and soft? They are crying and whining and hollering and screaming over what this black woman therapist said on, I believe, a TikTok video. And also, I thought that black man liked, to serve it straight, no chaser, right? I thought black men like to keep it real, to keep it 100, to keep it 1,000, right? Really, I thought the whole community was like that. Oh yeah, straight no chase. So shoot, I'll keep it real. I'll keep it 100. I'll keep it 1,000. I'll keep it 10 million. And I feel like people, well, the community, the community, has this attitude of, serving this straight no chaser when it's black women on the receiving end, right? Because I seem to only see this being directed at black women, or either it's like, well, black men can address black men can address black women can address black women, but black women can address black men, etc. Right? And basically where I'm getting at is just straight no chaser is all good in the hood only when black men are not on the receiving end of it. Only when it's not at the expense of black men's dumb, stupid feelings. And black men do have dumb, stupid feelings. Because black men are dumb, stupid people. If it don't apply, let it fly. But, as I mentioned, people didn't like this, right? Black men and, the pick-me mammy mules didn't like it, right? And a black woman made the black woman therapist's personal information public knowledge. Of course, a black woman would dox her, right? Of course. Yet another example of black women continuing to be self-sabotaging in the name of being fair and balanced, on behalf of black men. But it's really about gaining, Black King Scooby snacks and Black King approval. And the thing is, if black men were to actually follow the therapist's advice, black women and black children that y'all care so much about, or that y'all claim to care so much about, would be beneficiaries of it. Be beneficiaries of black men improving their emotional intelligence and getting therapy. But of course, the community, and black women want to be counterproductive. They want to go against productivity. They want to go against things that make sense. And also, if we as a community can band together to get this lady fired and essentially affect her livelihood and survival, then we can do the same thing against the Kevin Samuel types and the R. Kelly types. The community didn't have this smoke for Kevin Samuels, aka K-Sam, or even R. Kelly. There's always an excuse. Always an excuse when a black man is doing some sort of just no good, what. And black women be rushing to support and to defend the Kevin Samuel types and the R. Kelly types. Right? Black women watched. Black women called in and supported Kevin Samuels. Even though, time after time, he was going viral off the backs of black women. He built his empire, or if that's what you want to call it, his brand off of the backs of black women. When Kevin Samuels was addressing black men, it didn't pop off like that. Kevin Samuels even admitted that he would be more popular if he was criticizing black women, and that's what he did. And black women went along with it. They watched, they supported, they called in. Can you write me, Kevin Samuels? I want a husband. I want some man. I want some black kind, Kevin. And I know somebody gonna come through and be like, well, Kevin technically had them rate themselves. Whatever, close enough. And he would also be correcting them on their self-assessments as well. Let's not forget that. Didn't he do that to that woman who was deemed to be average at best? And also, he doesn't let people use the number 7. But for the black women who was supporting, I really think that some of y'all, like, y'all think that y'all are the exception, or that you're special, right? It don't apply to me. Oh, I'm the exception. I'm the outlier. And then some of you like the abuse. And then just some of you are just really just dumb as F. And also on the R. Kelly thing, black women were bailing R. Kelly out of jail and posting bond for him. And then that dumb black woman lost her bond money because of something that happened. So you just went on ahead and made a donation to the county or to whatever court system or whatever. Dummy. And that's what she gets for supporting that. And a sidebar right quick here. Since we were talking about Kevin Samuels, right? Y'all want to talk about Big Shirley, right? But Big Shirley isn't estranged from her children. She isn't estranged from her parents or her siblings. Big Shirley isn't homeless on the side of the road begging for money. Big Shirley didn't lose her life by overdosing on Viagra and Red Bull and want to try and blame it on black women. Big Shirley is still alive and kicking. Overweight, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes and all. Get like Big Shirley. And, just on a personal note, I really don't like no weak, pathetic, sorry black man. To be real, I don't really like no weak, sorry, pathetic person, period, across the board. But I really don't want to see no weak, sorry, pathetic black man. Not in my presence, not in my vicinity. No. I don't want to catch that virus. I don't want to catch that bacteria. I don't want to catch that spirit, that mentality that got you around here being sad, pathetic, and sorry. And to the black women out there, I strongly recommend and encourage that you distance yourselves from the Mammy Mule pick-me black women out there, the black male worshipping black women out there. And I know that might not be as easy as it sounds because some of those women may be your family members or perhaps really good friends. But I would just say to keep them at arm's length. Because in certain situations, she may end up sabotaging, killing, and destroying everything that you have. But I have another sidebar that I want to talk about before I go. And this is sort of off topic, but it ultimately centers back to all this. And what I want to talk about is, the community, the community, especially black men complaining about the sports industry and how they treat players, especially black male players, right? And to those people, I just want to say, shut the up, all right? Shut up, all right? Just shut up, all right? Because y'all complaining, but y'all still supporting the industry that you complaining about. And ultimately, you ain't going nowhere. And you ain't going to put your skin in a game like that. Not enough. It may be a few, like 1 or 2 here and there, but not enough for it to actually make a impact like that. And again, you ain't going to really do ish. So just shut up. Shut up. Let these people do what they do in peace. And also, you're easily pacified anyways So, these organizations, they'll throw you a banana to shut you up. And yes, I said banana because that's how they see you. And you will gladly eat up the banana like it's a Thanksgiving dinner. So, I don't want to go on for too long. I've said pretty much all I have to say for the time being. So I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.